he wheezed back into my ear. "Does the Baas think me a fool? If I must die, I must die. If I am to live, I shall live. Why then should I pay a shilling to learn what time will declare? Moreover, yonder Mavovo takes the shillings and frightens everybody, but tells nobody anything. I call it cheating. But, Baas, do you and the Baas Wazela have no fear? You did not pay shillings, and therefore Mavovo, though without doubt he is a great Inyanga, cannot really prophesy concerning you, since his snake will not work without a fee." The argument seems remarkably absurd, yet it must be common, for now that I come to think of it, no gipsy will tell a true fortune unless her hand is crossed with silver. "I say, Quatermain," said Stephen idly, "since our friend Mavovo seems to know so much, ask him what has become of Brother John, as Hans suggested. Tell me what he says afterwards, for I want to see something." So I went through the little gate in the wall in a natural kind of way, as though I had seen nothing, and appeared to be struck by the sight of the little fires. "Well, Mavovo," I said, "are you doing doctor's work? I thought that it had brought you into enough trouble in Zululand." "That is so, Baba," replied Mavovo, who had a habit of calling me father, though he was older than I. "It cost me my chieftainship and my cattle and my 2 wives and my son. It made of me a wanderer who is glad to accompany a certain Macumazahn to strange lands where many things may befall me. Yes," he added with meaning, "even the last of all things. And yet a gift is a gift and must be used. You, Baba, have a gift of shooting, and do you cease to shoot? You have a gift of wandering, and can you cease to wander?" He picked up one of the burnt feathers from the little pile by his side and looked at it attentively. "Perhaps, Baba, you have been told, my ears are very sharp, and I thought I heard some words floating through the air just now, that we poor Kaffir Inyangas can prophesy nothing true unless we are paid, and perhaps that is a fact so far as something of the moment is concerned. And yet the snake in the Inyanga, jumping over the little rock which hides the present from it, may see the path that winds far and far away through the valleys, across the streams, up the mountains, till it is lost in the heaven above. Thus on this feather burnt in my magic fire I seem to see something of your future, O my father Macumazahn. Far and far your road runs," and he drew his finger along the feather. "Here is a journey," and he flicked away a carbonized flake. "Here is another, and another, and another," and he flicked off flake after flake. "Here is one that is very successful, it leaves you rich. And here is yet one more, a wonderful journey this, in which you see strange things and meet strange people. Then," and he blew on the feather in such a fashion that all the charred filaments, Brother John says that laminae is the right word for them, fell away from it. "Then there is nothing left save such a pole as some of my people stick upright on a grave, the shaft of memory they call it. Oh, my father, you will die in a distant land, but you will leave a great memory behind you that will live for hundreds of years. For see how strong is this quill over which the fire has had no power. With some of these others it is quite different," he added. "I dare say," I broke in, "but Mavovo, be so good as to leave me out of your magic, for I don't at all want to know what is going to happen to me. To day is enough for me, without studying next month and next year. There is a saying in our holy book which runs, 'Sufficient to the day is its evil.'" "Quite so, Macumazahn. Indeed, that is a very good saying, as some of those hunters of yours are thinking now. Yet an hour ago they were forcing their shillings on me that I might tell them of the future. And you too want to know something. You did not come through that gate to quote to me the wisdom of your holy book. What is it, Baba? Be quick, for my snake is getting very tired. He wishes to go back to his hole in the world beneath." "Very well," I answered in a rather shamefaced fashion, for Mavovo had an uncanny way of seeing into one's secret motives. "I should like to know, if you can tell me, which you can't, what has become of the white man with the long beard whom you black people call Dogeetah. He should have been here to go on this journey with us. Indeed, he was to be our guide, and we cannot find him. Where is he, and why is he not here?" Have you anything about you that belonged to Dogeetah, Macumazahn?" "No," I answered. "That is, yes," and from my pocket I produced the stump of pencil that Brother John had given me, which, being economical, I had saved up ever since. Mavovo took it, and after considering it carefully as he had done in the case of the feathers, swept up a pile of ashes with his horny hand from the edge of the largest of the little fires, that indeed which had represented myself. These ashes he patted flat. Then he drew on them with the point of the pencil, tracing what seemed to me to be the rough image of a man, such as children scratch upon whitewashed walls. When he had finished he sat up and contemplated his handiwork with all the satisfaction of an artist. A breeze had risen from the sea and was blowing in little gusts, so that the fine ashes were disturbed, some of the lines of the picture being filled in and others altered or enlarged. For a while Mavovo sat with his eyes shut. Then he opened them, studied the ashes and what remained of the picture, and taking a blanket that lay near by, threw it over his head and over the ashes. Withdrawing it again presently, he cast it aside and pointed to the picture which was now quite changed. Indeed, in the moonlight it looked more like a landscape than anything else. "All is clear, my father," he said in a matter-of-fact voice. "The white wanderer Dogeetah is not dead. He lives, but he is sick. Something is the matter with one of his legs so that he cannot walk. Perhaps a bone is broken or some beast has bitten him. He lies in a hut such as Kaffirs make, only this hut has a verandah round it like your stoep, and there are drawings on the wall. The hut is a long way off, I don't know where." "Is that all?" I asked, for he paused. "No, not all. Dogeetah is recovering. He will join us in that country whither we journey, at a time of trouble. That is all, and the fee is ½ crown." "You mean 1 shilling," I suggested. "No, my father Macumazahn. 1 shilling for simple magic, such as foretelling the fate of common black people, ½ crown for very difficult magic that has to do with white people, magic of which only great doctors like me, Mavovo, are the masters." I gave him the ½ crown and said: "Look here, friend Mavovo, I believe in you as a fighter and a hunter, but as a magician I think you are a humbug. Indeed, I am so sure of it that if ever Dogeetah turns up at a time of trouble in that land whither we are journeying, I will make you a present of that double-barrelled rifle of mine which you admired so much." One of his rare smiles appeared upon Mavovo's ugly face. "Then give it to me now, Baba," he said, "for it is already earned. My Snake cannot lie, especially when the fee is ½ crown." I shook my head and declined politely but with firmness. "Ah!" said Mavovo, "you white men are very clever and think you know everything, but it is not so, for in learning so much that is new you have forgotten more that is old. When the Snake that is in you, Macumazahn, dwelt in a black savage like me 1,000 years ago, you could have done and did what I do. But now you can only mock and say, 'Mavovo the brave in battle, the great hunter, the loyal man, becomes a liar when he blows the burnt feather, or reads what the wind writes upon the charmed ashes.'" "I do not say that you are a liar, Mavovo. I say that you are deceived by your own imaginings. It is not possible that man can know what is hidden from man." "Is it indeed so, O Macumazahn, Watcher by Night? Am I, Mavovo, the pupil of Zikali, the Opener of Roads, the greatest of wizards, indeed deceived by my own imaginings? Has no man no eyes but those in his head, that he cannot see what is hidden from man? Well, you say so, and all we black people know that you are very clever, and why should I, a poor Zulu, be able to see what you cannot see? Yet to morrow, when one sends you a message from the ship in which we are to sail, begging you to come fast because there is trouble on the ship, then bethink you of your words and my words, and whether or no man can see what is hidden from man in the blackness of the future. Oh, that rifle of yours is mine already, though you will not give it to me now, you who think that I am a cheat. Well, my father Macumazahn, because you think I am a cheat, never again will I blow the feather or read what the wind writes upon the ashes for you or any who eat your food." Then he rose, saluted me with uplifted right hand, collected his little pile of money and bag of medicines, and marched off to the sleeping hut.